Every breakthrough starts by opening your eyes.
Burnout left me stranded. Time to choose my direction clearly.
Comfort is the enemy of clarity. Adventure awaits. The desert ahead isn't punishment, it's preparation. Every step forward is a step away from who I was. Clarity isn't optional, it's survival. Mirages tempt urgency. Wisdom chooses importance. I choose clarity. I choose growth. Your greatest adventure begins exactly where comfort ends.
Snooze button on life so many times you woke up at 40 wondering why and where and how the hell did I end up here? We're talking about it this morning, right now on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Let's get after it, Jimmy. Boom. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where
when something negative comes up.
Building muscle improves blood flow.
From squirting to squirreling.
Start small, build up, and expand from there.
To be entertained by fun over here.
How have I slept? Has my sleep been good? Slept.
What doesn't come from breaking the rules, you guys? I've got no audio. Let me see here. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. We got some audio there now. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Yeah, we got the wrong one up there. We got it now. What's shaking, everybody? Good morning and welcome to Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends, because today we're diving headfirst into the battle against the snooze button. Yeah. What'd you think of the opener today, guys? Old Keith. Keith, K-A-I-T-H, the AI version of myself. Hey, I'm real. Yeah, hey, look at my eyes. I see you guys all there. I see y'all on your feet. I see y'all there in the feed right now. My eyes are real. Yeah, true story. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. John Kraske, I'm real. Yeah, real eyes. Yeah, my pupils aren't dilated yet. No, it's too early in the morning. Ah! Good morning, Bernard. What's shaking, brother? I see you there in the comments. Glasses going back on. Hey, listen, guys, hour one with the morning loop. Your ultimate morning hook. Yeah, your ultimate morning hack session getting after right now. Hey, Maddie, how's that live show this morning? Matt Roof getting after it. 7:30 Eastern time. Just a few minutes left. Y'all wondering where he was? I was too. We all were. Maddie's just getting after it hardcore. Doom, doom, doom. Doom, doom, doom. Hey, Matt. Yeah. Hey, Matt. Doom, doom, doom. Yeah, what's up? Matt. Doom, doom, doom. Yeah, what's up? Hey, you didn't hit the live button. What? No, I didn't. You mean I've been talking for 7 minutes and I didn't hit the live button? Yeah, true story. Yeah, Matt Roof getting after it. Here's the point, guys. Every single day, 7:30 Eastern time, Matt Roof's getting after it. Kindness rising. Even when he's not hitting the live button, he was still there. He was still there. I promise you, I know for a fact he was still there. He wasn't sleeping, didn't hit the snooze button. He was getting up after it, working his ass off, just digging. And then, doom, doom, doom. Yeah, Maddie, yeah. Yeah, doom, doom, doom. Yeah, Maddie, yeah. No live. Oh! Anyways, Matt's going to jump into the show, I think, for a few minutes today. Have some fun with Maddie. And hey, yep, we're introducing some new wrinkles to the show today. Yeah, last night I went and found somebody to help us. I haven't told my boss, though. No, he doesn't know. I haven't told my boss that I found somebody to help us yet. Oh, speaking of, I forgot to text a guest yesterday on the show for my boss. So I'll have to tell him that that's coming here today. But yeah, so I got some new wrinkles coming up on the show here today. I got somebody to introduce you to. We're going to introduce you guys to a brand new co-host on the show today. Not Marty. No, Marty's not. Marty's one of the co-hosts. We got a new one coming up here today on the show we're going to introduce you to. And listen, we're going to take center stage to shake things up. We're going to call it those 10 habits you need to break right now in order to stop abandoning yourself. Listen, I think we've all gone on the journey of life where we go somewhere and we tend to abandon ourselves. Well, we're going to talk about habits that are kicking you in the ass. And then we're going to plunge deep dive into the deep dive. What? Exploring the reality of hitting those career walls after 40. I've been there. I think Maddie's been there. Well, Johnny hasn't because Johnny's never worked for anybody except for himself. We're going to talk about those career. You wake up, you're 40, you're 45, you're like, oh my goodness. Yep. And remember, this is an R-rated live morning show. True story. Yeah, once again. So if the kids are around, I invite you to put the headphones in or walk them out. Or if you're cool with having some real talk, entertaining conversation be in their ears, I would just ask them to stay. You can do that too. Yeah. So listen, make sure you like, subscribe, and drop that comment to be part of the Mornings in the Lab community. Don't hit the snooze button. You hit it, you're going to be behind. What's up, David Rodriguez? I see you in there. Sexy. True story. We are your daily accountability partner here to help you start your day right. Loaded with laughter, laughs, motivation, and authentic accountability. All right, enough chatter. Let's jump straight into the transition. Here is the Morning Loop, your 15 unpredictable minutes to start your day with momentum, baby, and motivation.
Preparation isn't optional. Clarity starts with essentials. The details matter. Every item is your ally. Gear packed, no more excuses.
Hey Nation, you can join the conversation live by calling 431-300-3005. Send us a text or voicemail because it is 1995.
Let's bring up the boys. What's up, Johnny?
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
I'm fantastic, man. How are you today? What's going on, Maddie? Maddie, I forgot to press the live button. Roof?
Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Can you hear me all right?
Maddie, we're live right now.
Are you hearing me?
We're hearing you loud and clear.
Right, awesome. Yeah, I cannot freaking believe I did that. But you know what? Like you said, we're progress over perfection over here. It was a day we were talking about self-acceptance, so I'm just gonna accept that I fucked up today, and we're gonna move forward. Whatever.
That's
Brother, what better way to demonstrate your message?
Exactly. I did it on purpose. No,
Do it with a smile on your face, baby. That's it. This is it. Look, I fucked it up, and I have to accept this in front of you. I am leading by example.
Yes. You know what I love about it though, Johnny, is that it was about 37 minutes after, and I was, usually the alert comes up, and I was in the middle of something. I was in the middle of doing some heavy squats. True story. And I was doing my own shit, and I'm like, something's off right now. And then I get a dunk, dunk, dunk from Jimmy and Melissa going, "What's up with Matt?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's what's off." And then I'm like, Then I look, there's nothing on the channel. And then I'm like, "Jimmy, what's up?" And then he goes and knocks on Matt's door, Johnny, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot to hit the live button." So it's 8 minutes of getting after it, and I forgot to hit live. But hey, it's called building the airplane as we fly. That's what it is, Maddie.
It absolutely is. And like I said, I'm having so much freaking fun. It almost doesn't matter, except that I want my message to get out there to people. I hope it did ring clear. I'm loving bringing the song of the day.
Yes.
That's lit me up. I connect so strongly to music, and I think it can really drive our emotional awareness in the world. And I'm just loving doing it every day. So tomorrow, join me at 7:30. I'll hit the go live at 7:30, and we'll be up and rolling on Kindness Rising.
That's awesome. Matt Roof, Kindness Rising, 7:30 Eastern time. I asked him to pop in this morning and just clarify what went wrong with him today, because I know you guys were sitting there waiting, wondering where Matt was. I saw people waiting in the room like, "Hey, where's Matty?" Hey, Johnny. I was working hard last night, and I was talking to Jimmy, and I found somebody. You know, guys, I've been like, I'm trying to create a circus here. I want to create a circus. So I knocked on somebody's door last night.
What do you mean? What do you mean want?
Well,
You want to make your circus better? You mean?
Well, no, I'm great question. We are evolving the circus, Mr. Anderson, and you and I had some laughter off the show last night on texting back and forth. But I did find somebody who has agreed to join the program. And Jimmy, can you see if he's ready here? Let's bring him up here. I think he's ready to join the show here for a few moments here. I see Matt's breathing there. Jimmy, let's bring him up here into the show here this morning.
The show to offer commentary and insights and humor that you simply can't deliver. You can call me Keith. Oh, hi, John.
Yeah, so that's Keith. Jimmy, I think that kind of broke up there. Let's run that guy again there, Jimmy. I had a hard time picking him up there, Jimmy.
The show to offer commentary and insights and humor that you simply can't deliver. You can call me Keith. Oh, hi, John.
And Marty, where you been, man?
Yeah, so Keith is going to join the show. He's Keith is working his way into the show. He's going to be hanging out with us and offering insights and commentary, and so Keith is just hanging out in the green room. He's active. He's listening. He's paying attention. He's joining the show. Yeah,
Keith might be a little bit too good looking for people to connect him to you. I'm just being honest.
Well, so Keith ain't too bad. And true story, Nation, we're actually working on. I was talking with Johnny last night. I'm eagerly working with Johnny on creating perhaps John AI or Joan A or Jane, as I was laughing with Johnny last night. But we're gonna create a John character to bring onto the show as well, and I'm gonna share some of how we're gonna do that later on in the episode as well. But yeah, so you guys saw him in the kickoff there. Keith's gonna be around. Keith is gonna have a big presence on the show, and don't be surprised if you see some new characters weaving their way into our discussions as well. So I thought we can have some fun with that as well. Hey guys, have you ever been curious about how and when life begins? Has it ever crossed your mind? And I mean, I'm being serious. Like, and I know it's a philosophical question. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. There you go. Philosophical question. Whether you're sitting in the religious camp or the science camp, there's a lot of lead to that question. But I found something on the platforms on the weekend, which just made me kind of be curious. And I thought we could throw it up there to have a little bit of going, oh, interesting. Jimmy, do you have that segment? I want to run this segment on life. Jimmy. Okay, maybe not. Jimmy, are you there, my friend? We do have
Jimmy sleeping at the wheel, babe. What's going on?
I think so. Yeah, it's so I'm not sure why it's not ready. It's been sitting in there since actually Saturday. So I'm actually quite puzzled why it's actually not ready. True story. Yeah. So guys, we are going to talk about when life's going to begin. So talk about Maddie not hitting the live button. My producer there is sleeping at the wheels right now. Keith may have to come in and actually have a conversation with him. Not sure how we missed the bundle in that one. And guys, we're going to talk about the Ultimate Men's toiletry list here today as well. What do you pack when you get on the road? We're going to throw some stuff on the table as well. Hey guys, stop abandoning yourself. We know that as we go through life, we often make decisions that kick us in the ass. And along the way, we end up not, really taking care of ourselves. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to get into failing after 40. Matt, you've known guys like I've known guys wake up at 40, 45, and you're like, oh my God, what the hell's going on? Maddie?
Yeah, man. I know I have my personal story. There's lots of people out there in the world who've been living outside of their true purpose, right? I had to go through a journey of purpose. I had to take a few hits.
It's a what?
Literally and figuratively, a few hits before I realized that I was living outside of my purpose. Now I get to bring it every day. But it's a journey. It's a journey. So if you're out there, you're a person who's questioning your purpose in life, keep digging into it. Get some help. Find out a way. Find your way through. You can find it within yourself. We all have a light to bring forward. So get out there and keep focusing on it.
Speaking of light, Bernard drops it. You have to spark a light. I got something fun to show you guys. Johnny, how was your last 24, man, since we caught up last 24 hours?
It was good. It was good. Yesterday, I had afternoon. What I did was I had a good productive afternoon, but what I did was I stayed out of my chair. I laid flat and did some of my work. That was whether I was on my stomach or my back. was more of a test on my spine, if you will. Too many people spend, I mean, we all, when we're at our desks, unless you're short enough to stand at your desk, we all sit there and we lean over a little bit.
What?
So that you get that kind of that upper back deal, right?
Yeah.
And so I was, because I had a pretty good stretch at my desk. And I was like, you know what? I know if I sit here the whole time tomorrow morning, it was going to take me 10 minutes to get this straightened out. So it's like, I'm going to cut this off ahead of time. So I basically I went and did a good chunk of work horizontal. And literally this morning, because if I spend too much time at my desk in the morning, I'll need to spend at least 5 minutes. And I couple this with the beginning of my meditation, where I put a pillow under my thoracic back and I lay back and I open up my shoulders, my arms, which then opens everything back up. I spent too much time like this. Makes sense.
I did. So how do you spell pillow? Is it pillow? Is it Pellow? I noticed that, I say mum. You say pillow.
Well, brother, why are you fucking asking me how to spell is what I want to know.
Oh, yes, that's right.
You fucking bring me here for a lot of shit, but spelling is not one of them.
No, Jimmy, we need to create a dyslexic character for the show. Oh, wait a minute. We have one. His name's John Anderson.
That's right. It'd be what? It'd be Willop. That's how you spell it. Willop. Excuse me. Wollip.
Oh,
it's a Willop. That's how you spell pillow.
Oh my God. Hey, it's 19 minutes after the show here. We're going to get to the accountability check-in in a few moments. But before we do that, Maddie and John, I want to show you guys what life looks like. Bernard already wrecked my hook, man. Bernard, I love you, brother. That is so funny. Jimmy, let's run this little video on what does life look like when it gets set up. Check this out, guys. This is quite fascinating to me. I've never seen it before. Look at this.
What are we looking at?
So what you're seeing there is the moment there's the spark of life created at fertilization. So that is the moment that fertilization happens in quote unquote life. Now, again, some would debate that life is spiritual. Some would debate life is scientific. I'm not here to have that conversation today. I'm purely here to share my curiosity. I saw this and I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. Right now, so so I can see Maddie, right? So, that right there is, that's really just the idea of when fertilization happens. Pretty cool, eh, Matt?
Yeah, it's awesome. Actually, what I'm looking at, it looks astronomical to me, right? It almost looks like a star, right? And we all there's philosophy out there that says we're all made up of the same stuff, right? Stardust, and we're all made up of that stuff. That just reminded me of something that might happen up in the sky, like we're looking through a telescope.
Well, it looks kind of like a solar eclipse, doesn't it?
Human?
It does.
Human fertilization?
That's what that was. That's exactly what that was. Yeah, Johnny, you're right. Awesome. It does look like a human. It looks like an eclipse, Johnny.
Well, it's like, there you go. Every time life begins, it starts with an eclipse.
That's exactly right. Very nicely said. And it's great because I like when I put stuff on the table and we get a reaction, because clearly the community got all over this. We got Global jumping in. There is no darkness. It's all light, and some brighter than others, making shadows of dark. And B Drive coming in. It is a star. And Holright jumping in. What's going on, Adam? You are a little soul carrying around a corpse. An Epictetus used to say, Marcus Aurelius. Adam, you're way past this morning in terms of your philosophy.
Did this get a better reaction than hamstring? I hope so.
I got some hamstring comments after the show yesterday, Mr. Anderson. I was like, and hey, like I said to you yesterday, brother, if folks are poking, that means they're listening, which is what we want, right? So it's if they're poking, they're listening. All right, let's get to Jimmy. Let's get to the accountability check-in. Let's set that accountability check-in up, and then we'll get the show going on here and dive into center stage, which is ways that we're failing ourselves. Accountability check-in coming up, Jimmy. Let's do it.
To break the cycle, intentions must be clear. Facing obstacles honestly is the first step toward overcoming them. Obstacles aren't barriers, they're invitations to grow.
I'd rather watch bubbles being blown from a bulldog's ass right now. Hey, call me 431-3000-3005.
All right. So, yeah, there we go. I don't have an accountability check in here today. So we're going to figure that out here in a quick second here as we get after here this morning on Mornings and Live with Keith and Friends. Looks like the team is sleeping. Looks like the team is sleeping over here on the show. Here we go, guys. Let's get after it. Neglecting your own well-being is selfish. Yeah, there's nothing noble about running yourself into the ground. You got to skip that workout, live off the caffeine, ignore the rest, and all you're really doing is setting yourself up for burnout in that shorter lifespan. All while you claim it's because you're working hard to take care of others. You're actually letting them down, because no matter what you tell yourself, you can't show up strong for anyone if you're falling apart behind the scenes. Not in the long run. Not at all. So I invite you to start taking care of those basics first, you guys, daily. Start taking care of you, not being selfish. It's what those accountable human beings do every single day right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. All right, Jimmy, let's keep it rolling, brother. Let's keep that show going. Let's segue over to the center stage, my friend.
Recognizing your direction begins with acknowledging wrong turns. Breaking old habits means boldly embracing a new direction.
Missed the letter I, Keith. I see your use of AI.
What if the biggest threat to your success isn't your competition, but the way you abandon yourself every single day? Most high-achieving men have mastered every business skill except the most crucial one: apologizing for things that aren't your fault and seeking validation from everyone except the person who matters most, yourself. The most successful leaders aren't those who say yes to everything, but those who've mastered the art of strategic boundaries and authentic self-advocacy. Breaking free starts with recognizing 10 specific habits that fuel self-abandonment. Stop abandoning yourself. Start building the boundaries that create authentic success and unshakable self-respect.
Guys, we're talking about habits that are killing you, habits that are breaking you, habits that I want to invite you to stop abandoning yourself. Let's get into some positive ways to move life forward here as we get after here this morning on the show. On Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends, right here at 8 o'clock Eastern time with myself, John Anderson. Today we got Maddie Roof hanging out with us on the show here today. Let's bring in Johnny as well. Let's have a big conversation.
Okay, Jimmy, what are you doing, babe? Wake up.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I'm not really sure what's going on here today, to be honest with you guys. We're having some challenges here, it seems like, on the backside. Jimmy, are you okay back there, man? All right, so guys, I want to talk about habits that we want to talk about breaking that we want to start in changing along the way. So saying yes.
I like that. That's a good topic right there, brother.
Saying yes when you want to say no. Johnny, let's start with this one, and then I'm going to go to you, Maddie, next. Saying yes when you want to say no. Often, and I know you said something yesterday, Johnny, you learned in life that the moment you started saying no more than yes, that's when you started winning.
Yeah, because, I think a lot of people resonate with, trying to be people pleasers, right?
Yes.
Because, we all want to make people happy. It's just the nature of unless you're just a complete asshole.
Yeah.
But then you got to start to realize that as you say yes to the things that are not serving you, it really ends up you become the asshole because you're not happy. And so I guess when it comes down to, like you said, once I really kind of found my groove of this is what I'm doing. This is what really serves me. This is what's building me, spiritually, emotionally. It was real easy for me to start saying no. And because it was just, if I felt like in my chest, if I was saying yes to something that was taking me away from what was making me better, it kind of hurt.
Yes. Yeah. Maddie, how do you say no to your family when you know that your family wants you to say yes? And I'm serious here, but yet you know that no is the right answer.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So if family is always,
I want a piece of this one too,
because you care deeply about them and you want to say yes to everything. I know I do. I spend a lot of time saying yes to things. But for me, it's about asking the question, what are we trying to accomplish here? Taking a beat and saying, well, I need to think about that. Sometimes I just need to create some space first. And I also am all about providing alternatives. I don't like to just say no.
Oh.
How about no, but how about we try this? Or no, but did you think about going at it after it this way? So that's something that I've had to work on. I am a people pleaser, as John mentioned. That's something that I've worked on for a long time in my life, as the youngest child, as the only boy in our family, all those things. But I try to provide alternatives. I still struggle with saying straight no. I never think I don't want to just say no, unless it's extremely against my values.
Johnny, what about you, man? Are you a no but?
Yeah.
I like Matt's approach on providing the alternative. Are you the same way? Do you go about it the same way?
I mean, I think it just depends. If it's something that I can see that they want to do that they should be doing, but they're going about it wrong.
Yeah.
Then, a lot of times I won't even include a no. I'll just say, okay, let's okay, but let's do it this way. Right. But then when it comes to, I was a big believer that I needed to demonstrate saying no was something that they needed to learn how to do. So I dropped a no like a hammer. Bam. No, that's not the way we do it. And it was it's not like, no, you're fucking up. We do it better than this. We don't do this like other people. We don't eat poorly. We don't do the dumb shit. Of course, when they're young to say that, but I wanted to demonstrate we don't live our lives like the dumb shits out there. And unfortunately, they're influenced by those people because that's the majority.
Yeah. It's interesting inside of the house, right? Because there's our kids are influenced by others, and like you said, Johnny, if you're it's interesting when you said no, we don't do it that way. We don't eat that way. Yeah. We don't do things a certain way, right? And the way you
don't go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
We don't go to McDonald's. No, we don't do that.
That's interesting. So I'm curious. So when you first said no to your kids about that, how did they accept that?
Well, you start doing it young enough. They learn the way that it is before they really start taking the influence of other people. Then they say, Daddy, why don't we go to McDonald's?
Yeah.
Well, because we go to Super Duper Burger, which is kind of like McDonald's, but they use real food. What do you mean real food? McDonald's is a real food. They'll put a lot of chemicals in there, and see, they're very open to it.
Yes.
Right? Like you have to do this from the jump. You can't all of a sudden fucking show up one day when they're 11 years old and decide that you become this fucking person. Well, in many cases, many people try to do it, but they don't carry it out. And then all that happens is their kids even lose faith. Oh, this fucker will hold on to this position. Just hold tight, tell brothers and sisters, hold tight. He's only going to do this for another month and a half, and he'll quit. We'll be back at McDonald's soon. You can't. But I was the guy that did it right from the jump. Right?
Yeah. It's interesting.
I guess I looked at it more programming. I was programming them to see the world the way that I wanted them to see versus the way that the average person, which we know the average person, you eat like the average person. You have the average American diet, you're going to get the average American disease. That didn't exist in our house.
I've had to learn the power of no. I've had to learn the power of no in my relationships too. Like, because it would make me feel really, because I would say yes often, that quote unquote, the nice Canadian, I'd say yes all the time. And I got to be honest, Johnny, I'm looking at you, man. Again, I seem to look at you often. Since I've been in your circle, true story was what I'm going to say next. I have gained more confidence, even at fucking 53, Matt Roof figuring it out. I've gained confidence, Johnny, to say no in certain times. I guarantee you, since I met you, that I would have said yes to. I'm like, no, actually, because Johnny be kicking my ass saying, why are you fucking saying yes to if it's not going to serve your goals? And I'm being serious because I would often capitulate and say yes to something, Roofy, where I'd be like, oh, damn it, I got to be selfish about this. And I have done it more recently since this show has started, and I will credit it to our conversations on this during this show. Johnny.
Well, I appreciate that, brother. And just so I think everybody understands, Keith's also saying no to things that it's serving him, but indirectly it's serving the people he's saying no to. Yes. So understand that. He's not saying no so he can go to the fucking bar and drink.
Yes.
He's saying no. What's that?
even something you said a couple days ago when you're like, yeah, when people want to invite me over to stay at their house, or it's like, hey, Johnny, come stay at my house. You really want me to stay at your house? Yeah, I do. Okay, you really want me fucking going through your house at 2 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the morning and doing this and this? Oh, that how it's going to be? Yeah, that's how it's going to be.
Well, I mean, in that case, I have just let them make their own decision. I'll say, look, I'm good with this, but you need to understand what you just signed up for.
No, but I like that though. That's me saying yes and no, because often, as Maddie, I see you nodding there. Often I think we as humans go, okay, well, I'm just going to do this because that's what Matt wants me to do, even though I'm probably putting everybody out. Right, Matt?
Yeah, I think you got to give context to things. I was thinking about what Johnny said, right? About starting early. That's the best way to do it. But you're saying the exact opposite, Keith, which is I changed later, right? So
yes,
if you just start saying no and you start doing that thing, people are going to go, whoa, what? But if you say, listen, I'm starting to say no to shit like this. This is why, because I'm improving my life, and by improving my life, I'm going to help you improve your life. I'm going to start saying no to going out for ice cream 3 times a week. We'll go out once a week.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to say no to those things because this is what I want from my life.
Yes.
I also really like to connect back to what the guy said yesterday. Dan, I think his name was, about the story about rowing the boat, the British team that was rowing the boat, right?
Yep.
So if you have the end in mind and you keep that in mind, every decision that you make, is this going to make the boat go faster? Is this going to make our financial situation better? Is this going to make me live longer? Whatever your goal is, asking that key question is going to get you there, and saying no becomes easier when you know that it's not serving the ultimate purpose.
That's right. Hey, guys,
and real quick on that level, you got to remember, in so many cases, you know, when you're being asked to the average person, he lives his life for right now. He's not really, the action he's taking right now is not serving later. He doesn't live with the idea of delayed gratification. The average person lives in gratification right now. And if you're a delayed guy and the people around you are not, there's going to be a conflict.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we're talking, we're right now, you're hanging out with Keith and Johnny and Matt Roof here this morning on Mornings Live with Keith and John, getting after it every single day. We're talking about 10 habits to break now to stop abandoning yourself. And then we're going to get into a conversation about failing after 40 here in a number of moments. Guys, this is a habit that a lot of Canadians have, which is apologizing when it's not your fault. And, you know, we as Canadians often like to apologize. We're just the kind humans, but, you know, stop over apologizing. Not only Canadians, but just out there, man. What it does, it diminishes your self-worth and it reinforces guilt that isn't yours to carry. And I never had this problem myself, you guys, about saying I'm sorry. I know there's people in my circle that have had that bad habit. John, Matt, have you guys crossed people that just apologize all the time for no reason?
Well, I think that there's a difference in how you use the apology. There's a person that uses an apology like I use it, right? When I'm getting ready to respectfully rip you.
Yes.
My apologies, Keith, but God damn it.
Yes.
I'm gonna soften you up with an apology because I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just coming at you square.
But I don't know. But with all respect, I don't know if that's an apology. That's just setting me.
But it's still the phrase of people hear that. Oh, well, of course, because I'm using it very tactfully. Now, the next way I'll apologize is I'll apologize for the littlest thing because I broke my own standard. I will apologize for being 3 minutes late because that's my standard. I apologize. I'm a few minutes late. I don't like that. I'm apologizing for me, not you.
Fair. That's fair. That's fair. Maddie, the next habit we do that breaks ourselves is over explaining ourselves. For example,
I used to do that a ton when I was younger.
You do not owe anybody an explanation for your choices, Matt Roof. You're 53 years old. You've done what you've done. I got to trust that your decisions you've made are valid. And I'm doing a role play with you right now. You don't need to validate them. But yet we as humans often come up and validate, and often try to over-explain ourselves, Matt Roof.
I think sometimes when we're over-explaining, it's because we're not entirely convinced that it's the right thing to do either. We're trying to convince ourselves as much as we're trying to convince others of it. If we have to over-explain, and that means we're not really confident in the decision that we're making or in what we're doing. I do think it's important, I mentioned it earlier, to give context. I think just doing things without explanation is, or if people have curiosity, genuine curiosity about what you're doing and why you're doing it, I think it's important. Explaining things is a great learning tool. But again, if you start over explaining and trying to justify, it turns quickly into self-justification for something you're doing that you know is not right.
I never thought about it that way, but you're right. That's exactly it. When we're not convinced ourselves, we do spend a lot of time finding the words to justify what we're doing, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly it, Johnny.
Well, and it can also be that kind of that state of mind. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like sometimes when you're in that state of mind where you're just not confident as a whole, it's something that it's almost like you know that's what's going on, but you're almost like it's like when you're confident, boom, this is it. When you're not confident, it's kind of this is it.
Yeah.
Your explanation when you're confident can be one simple sentence if people want to know, but if you start rambling about it, then it becomes you're really trying to convince yourself. You know, this also reminds me of the idea of mansplaining, right? So that's that I've had in my life because I consider myself a very knowledgeable person. I love trivia. I love digging into research, and I have fallen into the mansplaining trap, and people are looking at me like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, yeah, we get it. You know, you're knowledgeable.
You know, but hold on. Let's just stay here for a second. Let's stay here for a second. This mansplaining stuff, honest to God, Maddie, like who decided that they're all going to now start? So I think I've got to ask my AI characters, who has become the AI mansplaining police? No, look, honestly.
Yeah, well, I'm not one of your AI characters, but I think that there is a lot of it out there. And I will say I don't like the genderization of it because I know a lot of women
exactly
who share their shit over and over again too.
Yes,
it might be about different things. Men tend to focus on the facts, women tend to focus on the emotions. But guess what? There's a lot of people of all genders, types, and sizes that like to hear themselves talk.
There you go. Hey.
Oh yeah. 100%.
All right, Jimmy, let's do this. We're going to break up this conversation and come back to we're talking 10 ways we're failing. We're going to go to the deep dive and get into failing after 40. And then we're going to do some lifestyle tip with John Anderson, talk some nutrition, and keep this conversation going. But before we do that, Jimmy, let's run the teaser on the deep dive.
Hitting the wall isn't failure. It's the beginning of clarity.
True clarity comes from stepping forward, even when the way seems unclear.
Nice AI editing, Keith. Who is that guy prancing in the sand? Really? What? No budget for real actors?
Ever feel like you're running on a treadmill in your career, putting in the work but going nowhere? For so many men, hitting 40 feels like hitting a wall. The drive you once had is replaced by a quiet feeling of being stuck on autopilot. But what if that feeling isn't a sign of failure? There's a science to leveraging this moment, a way to turn that wall into a doorway by making small, intentional shifts. You'll learn how the world's top performers harness midlife transitions, not by grinding harder, but by strategically recalibrating their goals, redefining success on their own terms, and using clarity, not force, to unlock their next chapter. It's time to stop pushing against the wall and start looking for the handle.
Midlife crisis, what happens when we hit our 40s? Studies reveal there's several reasons behind these midlife career stagnation situations, guys. And one of them is changing life priorities prompt that reassessment of meaningful work. I'd like to start our conversation here looking at, let's start with you, Johnny. So you've changed your journey many, many times, bodybuilder, strongman, wrestler. I got to think that during your journey, there was priority moments which prompted you to reassess where you were. Can you take me and Matt and the audience through that mindset when you're like, okay.
When you say where I was, I want to make sure I'm totally understanding what you're asking me.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that during your journey, there was times where your priorities were shifting. And, it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen one morning, but you could see that priorities were shifting. Maybe, the kids were coming. Maybe, your body was getting beat up, but there was something prompting you to reassess. Let's talk about that moment where you're going, and maybe you're even going through right now a little bit where you're reassessing things because priorities have shifted for you. And I think this becomes the main, the research is showing us this becomes the main crux about why men and women wake up going, oh, I'm kind of in a funk right now, because what's happened is your priorities have shifted. Johnny.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's, if you're really trying to keep your finger on the nerve, on the pulse,
yeah,
you never stop doing that. The people that all of a sudden decide to start doing it, they haven't done it for years. Then they realize, holy shit, how did I get so far away from where I was supposed to be? So I think there's a certain level of, keeping yourself in check. Ask yourself the right questions along the way.
Yeah. Maddie, go ahead, Johnny. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I think, because I think you were posing the question, like, when did it start? When did it happen?
Yeah.
I don't think it ever stopped.
That's interesting.
I came from the other side of the equation.
Yeah. Matt, so I know you've been going through your journey. You're going through some changes right now, with your career and so forth. As you've gone through your journey, you've been very public about your journey. Were there priority shifts that were happening that made you reassess what was going on?
Yeah, of course, we're impacted by the things that are happening around us in our lives, our age and our stage in our lives. Obviously, I spent a lot of time when I was, as my kids were growing up. That became a big thing for me. As my kids were growing up, I was living out of town. I missed a lot of shit with my family. And as they approached their high school graduation, I have twins. I don't know if people know that. I have twins that'll be 20 in August. And as they started approaching the end of their high school days, I was like, holy crap, my priorities have been so off for so long, right? Which led me to leave one job and take a little bit of time off. So those external priorities definitely shift, and we make changes with them. But I think what's really important, I think John was kind of saying this, is what's your intent? Are you doing it with intention, or are you just blowing in the breeze, and as things come, you're going? You got to be flexible, but you have to be flexible with intention in order to achieve what you want to achieve. So I had a wake up moment at one point that was, I've missed too much of my kids' lives. I got to get back into it. Then most recently, it became about, all right, I was back in my kids' lives. I was in a job that was not aligned with my purpose. It wasn't what I wanted to do. And that's what led me ultimately to getting to where we are here. So I don't know, I rambled a little bit, but to me, it's about intention. And as you make those changes in your life and those priorities, you're assessing with intention and moving forward with a plan.
Good morning, Ben Sims.
Let me add some of that too, brother, because I think if you're really following your journey, there's a level of faith that you have, like the universe kind of lined my shit up for me. If I look back, had I chose how it would have unfolded, it wouldn't have worked the same way. It was put in line in a certain way. Literally when I was like my major traveling ended, and it wasn't by my choice. It was just the way that the whole thing happened right at the time when my kids were okay. I need to be home anyway. So I think if you're really focused and serving your purpose, I think, and you have that faith, I think that these things kind of find themselves. It all kind of falls into place, if you will. It's when you're spending all your time in something that you don't want to do, and you're going to that job you don't want to be in. These are the people that are trying to distract themselves with shit that keeps them from being even aware of where they're supposed to be. So I think if you're really in line, if you're really aligned, I think that things are going to be kind of put into place for you as they're supposed to be. There's a certain level of faith that you have to have. And for me, it totally happened that way.
But you had to perpetuate your purpose. Like your purpose didn't happen.
You had to stay.
So
no.
I appreciate that. Your comment is that, the universe lined itself up this way. True. But I think back to, had mom not sat down with you and said, we got to teach you some systems, John Anderson. If we're not teaching you systems, you're not gonna figure shit out in life. So you have had to perpetuate, and I'm bringing it up because people.
I'm agreeing with you,
and I know you are, because I think sometimes people think, oh, that guy's been lucky. Or that guy, look at Keith. He's done okay for himself. No, you don't see all the fuck. I had to perpetuate all this.
The universe rewarded me with this alignment because of all the fucking shit that I did that most people won't do.
Yes.
The amount of work that I've done in the dark most people could never even comprehend.
We're talking.
I mean, how many hours I used to let's just talk about something simple people can understand.
Yeah.
I spent years in a fucking college weight room by my fucking self. If somebody came in for a 30-minute workout, that was like a fucking, oh my God, this is great. But I did this literally in a room by myself for years. That's fucking, that's the work in the dark, so to speak. The universe is not going to reward with, alignment and all the things I spoke of if you're just kind of fucking wandering through your life. You've got to be burning that midnight oil, so to speak, in a way that deserves to be rewarded.
Yes, absolutely.
We create luck, right? Some people say, "Oh, it's lucky," but I think that I'm saying the exact same thing, John. He put himself in the place to get lucky.
Yes.
To be open. First of all, he's in a mindset of openness about it, in a mindset of self-awareness about it, and put himself there. Did the work in the dark, right? What we do in the dark defines our characters. What we do when no one else is watching is what defines us. And things don't just happen all of a sudden. They happen through I hate to use the word grind, but it's a grind sometimes.
100%.
But you put yourself in a situation to get lucky so that when the opportunity arises, you're ready.
Well, because luck is nothing more than fucking preparation meeting opportunity. You when opportunities arise and you're ready, oh, you're lucky. No, I was fucking ready. You weren't. That's not luck. That's me being fucking ready all the time. Like when I got my first contract with a magazine, or excuse me, a supplement company, we're always doing photo shoots in magazines. So I stayed in shape all the fucking time. So when someone wasn't in shape for a fucking shoot, they would call me. You know how many fucking layouts I got because I was always ready? No, I wasn't lucky. I fucking made sure I was always prepared.
It's 8:50 Eastern time on July 15th. I'm dating the show on purpose because one day in the future, people are going to say, Keith and Johnny and Maddie are lucky. They got a show on Netflix, or they got a show on Amazon, or they got this live morning show. You haven't seen all the work we're putting in when nobody's paying attention right now. You're not seeing all these little tweaks behind the scenes, engaging with our community and figuring shit out. So I appreciate all those comments that we got going on here within the community. All right, Jimmy, let's do this. Let's do the lifestyle tip with Johnny, so Johnny can get up and go for a pee break after that, and then we're going to come back and continue with some center stage habits that are killing us and tease some more conversations along the way. So, Jimmy, let's do the lifestyle tip with John Anderson. Let's do it, Mr. Jimothy.
The strongest action can be a strategic pause. Clarity thrives in mindful moments.
You can also get off your ass and join the Mornings in the Lab community, subscribe to the channel, or leave. Yep. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya.
All right, we got a really powerful drill. When you get home tonight, you're going to go into your bathroom and you're going to take your shirt off and you're going to look at yourself in the mirror. And then you're going to decide, are you happy with what you see? Unfortunately, the majority of you guys are not going to be happy with what you see. And what this means, this is a very simple reflection on your choices. The choices in which you live your life, or the way you don't live your life. But here's the deal. If you live your life in a way that is giving you this outcome in the way you look, just think about how many other outcomes it's giving you that are not favorable to what you truly want. Because you see, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And people will try to hide behind the fact that that's not true. But, find a billionaire or even a, multi-millionaire, forgive my language, who's a lard ass. You're going to find one. Because the people who really get it, and now you're getting all sorts of these really heavy hitting business moguls saying, you want to make a lot of money, get yourself in ripping shape. Because, and I preach all the time, the habits that built this are the habits that built my businesses, my family, all my success, built my life, built the life that I have, that I enjoy every day. Because again, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. You build the habits that you need to take care of yourself. And those habits that are taking care of yourself will also take care of the other parts of your life as well. Now, you can try to pretend this isn't true, but you'll be in the same place next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. So it's time to be honest. If you want to talk more about this, this is what I do. Drop in my DMs and LinkedIn, say, hey, and at very least, I'm going to give you a handbook. It's a mental handbook I call the Monster Mindset, which should get you moving in the right direction mentally, because the way you look is nothing more than a side effect of how you think. Rock and roll.
All right. That's it. I got to tell you, that is a great point there. Jimmy, Johnny's going to go for a pee here, man. We don't need to bring Johnny back on stage after the segment. Jimmy, we got to get better at that, pal. After lifestyle, Johnny goes straight out here, so we don't need to bring him back up on stage. Hey, guys, we're talking failing forward after 40. What we're going to do is we're going to continue the conversation about 10 ways that we're killing ourselves with bad habits that are moving us backward in life. And I see that we got some comments coming up here as well in the feeds here. Seeking validation from others, Maddie, is something that many of us seek, relying on that external approval that erodes that self-trust, building that inner validation. Matt, have you been a dude that was always, or have you been somebody who was seeking validation from others?
Yes and no. The yes is I spent a lot of time seeking validation from people who I love and respect, right? I feel like I felt like for a long time I needed that, whether it was my father or my mother or my wife, people who I love and respect. I needed that validation. I needed them to say, you're doing the right thing, you're on the right track, that kind of stuff. I certainly don't spend a lot of time on that now, since I've learned to focus on self-acceptance, which is what we talked about on Kindness Rising this morning. External validation is great, but unless it's coming from within yourself and understanding yourself and accepting both your positive and your negative traits, and realizing that those things that you might consider negative actually have positive effect on them, you won't move forward without that self-acceptance first, and external validation can just be the gravy.
So what I find, I've come across many folks in my circle that like to compare themselves to others, and I think that's a big habit that we go. As social media has been a big challenge of that, right? Because you see everybody doing something, and you're constantly comparing, right? My invitation to those is focusing on your own journey, your own progress, and not someone else's highlight reel. Because it's never going to end, man. It's never going to end, right? And here's the thing, Matt. Here's the thing. And here's what I think we as humans forget. If I'm going to celebrate my FOMO for all the greatness you're doing, I also need to be willing to accept the FOMO of all the shit that you're going through. And that's where humans, Matt is going through some bad shit. Oh, I don't want to, I'm not going to lean into Matt. I'm going to run away. Oh, Matt's going through some good shit. I want to be a part of that. And that's what I find is messed up with us as humans, is that when you're doing great stuff, I'm FOMOing all about the great stuff you're doing. But when you're going through shit, I'm running away from you. I don't want nothing to do with you. So
social media has allowed us to show only our best selves, right? Yes. It's our resume. Every day, our resumes always show only the good shit, right?
Yes.
So social media, that's one of the drawbacks, is that people tend to only show their good stuff. I try to show a little bit of the good and the bad. I showed it this morning by missing out on going live. I tried to do a little bit of progress, not perfection. I focus on that. But nothing kills me more than watching people who are trying to keep up with the Joneses in life, and they're trying to show off. They're driving the car even though they can't afford it. They're joining the country club, but they're eating ramen noodles at home or not paying attention to their kids. All that stuff, because it's all for show. It's not about what they truly are and truly living themselves. So
Matt, let me sneak in right there. Let me sneak in right there, brother. I so agree with what you just said about that. And I think that there's a misunderstanding. There's a saying that goes around, right? Act as if, right? And people take I'm living in an apartment, but I got to wear a suit and drive a Mercedes, right? And what they're taking that wrong. That saying is not act as if, like pretend. It's saying act as if like you got to develop the habits to go get that shit. Get up at fucking 3 a.m, eat right, self-improve. That's the act as if part that the saying is attached to. But somehow, some way, people take that, I got to buy a Rolex. I got to do this. They got to put on this show to act as if. No, acting as if is in the behavior patterns. And exactly. You know what I mean? Isn't it fucking crazy?
Yeah. Have you been reading my Substack, John?
I can't read.
I really just I
was just going to say, Johnny, Matt, he can't read. So what the hell, man? No, he's not.
Yeah. Okay. So have you been looking at my? So I literally wrote an article on Substack that the title was "Act as If." And it's about that exact same thing. Act as if is something my mother used to tell me all the time. But I have to agree with you that it's not act as if by putting on the show. It's act as if, as in get in the mindset that you're already
in the practice to create the show. You're acting as if all the things you need to do to create the show. The show will get created by the practice.
It's funny. We're going to reset the hour here in a moment here, Jimmy. I saw a fascinating quote. Johnny, I'm going to butcher it up, so just fucking leave me alone with it. So I saw a fascinating quote.
Well, see, that, and you preceded with that. So now I can't touch you.
With my apology. But I there's a young lady who, one of the world's richest humans. She's a billionaire. She launched an AI company, whatever it was. And somebody was questioning her on what she wears and what she drives. And she goes, oh, yeah. She goes, that's the ultimate flex as a billionaire. She goes, because you actually don't care. She goes, it's the millionaires that feel like they have to show everyone what they have and what they own and what they want to perpetuate because they're putting on the old act, per se, right? She goes, I have so much wealth, I'm happy driving my shitty Toyota Prius because I don't need to go and prove to Matt Roof that I'm wealthy. And it's funny because you look at a lot of wealthy folks, my 1980 Jeep in my garage over there, people are like, you drive that? I'm like, oh yeah, I fucking love it. Right? Because I don't need to show you. I don't need to feel the need to show or brag. And that is something else that I think humans have an interesting time doing. Johnny, I see one.
Well, I was going to say, because when it comes down to it, I guess it comes down to the purpose. Yes. like Terry and I both enjoy cars.
Yes.
And so this is like we don't take extravagant vacations, but we have a garage full of cars. So it's kind of like, granted, what's the purpose of the vehicle? Is it because you're trying to flex, or is it because, when I get in one of my cars and I take it for a drive, I have a supreme enjoyment. Sometimes I'll just get in a car and I'll fucking go drive for 15 minutes. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just saying, I'm going to enjoy some of the fruits of my labor. I like the sound. I like the feel of the different, I guess it just depends on the purpose of the thing.
I like
agree with that, but
Go ahead, Matty.
So I don't mean to shift gears too much, but as they're talking about this, I'm thinking about it from a marketing and advertising perspective, right? BMW and Volvo and these brands or Jaguar luxury brands are creating this in people's minds that you have to have these things in order to be something. But when you truly are that, you don't give a shit. You drive 1980s. You drive 1980 Jeeps, right? You whatever. But at the same time, I agree with what John said. He truly loves cars, so he's leaning into that. But he's also not going on. He's choosing that instead of something else because it's aligned with his true self.
That's it. That's exactly it. All right, guys, listen, we're gonna reset here, Jimmy. We're gonna reset, and we're gonna reveal the toilet packing list in hour 2, Jimmy. So let's reset here. I want to get better at keeping the show rock and rolling here. So we're gonna do hour 2 reset and continue going with Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Jimmy, let's run the reset, brother.
Halfway there. Now we double down on clarity. Check your course. Clarify your vision. Strategy wins the day. Eyes forward. Clarity locked. Let's make the second half count. Momentum builds when you keep moving forward. Husky. I said husky.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back. Hour 2, getting after it here. We're kicking off Morning Loop Reloaded by resetting the opener and bringing a couple closer, sharing the intimate shortcut you've secretly been missing. We're going to get into that conversation coming up here. And then we're going to talk packing for travel, the ultimate packing list here as we get on the show here today. And just figure out these new segments as we're getting after it here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Jimmy, let's run that segment on the packing list, brother. Let's get that one going here right now.
What if the way you pack your toiletries reveals more about your success potential than your resume? Here's a shocking truth. 69% of travelers are failing a test they don't even know they're taking. Every morning, successful men face the same hidden challenge, turning chaos into systems, anxiety into confidence. Yet most approach travel preparation like they approach life, scattered, reactive, hoping for the best instead of building for success. Breakthrough research in cognitive psychology reveals that preparation isn't just organization, it's cognitive rehearsal. The 5-system approach transforms your toiletry bag into a confidence-building machine. Stop packing like an amateur. Start preparing like a professional. Your future self will thank you.
It's a system, baby. It's just a system. That's all it is.
I figured you'd like that. I found something fun here. Actually, influenced by Men's Journal, they put together, as we're approaching summer here, the ultimate packing list. So I thought I'd take a page out of it and say, I wonder what guys are packing here today. Yes, Maddie, we see you got to walk off here, brother. So we'll get you out of here. Maddie, guys, just remember to tune into Matt's show here, 7:30 Eastern time, Kindness Rising, getting after it every single day here, kicking off the morning loop here, Monday to Friday. Matt, what are you talking about tomorrow, brother?
Tomorrow's topic is charity. Tomorrow's topic is about giving back and what communities do in moments of crisis. We've had some crises lately, particularly the floods down in Texas, where we had some tragic losses down in Texas here in the United States. But we're going to talk about how communities band together in crisis. We're going to focus on that cultural moment, that cultural touchstone about crisis. Get people thinking about what song am I going to bring that was in response to a crisis. You might already have it in your mind, and we're going to talk about how we respond both individually as community when there's crisis and we need to give back.
Awesome. So check them out, guys. Matt Roof, 7:30 Eastern time, Kindness Rising on the Kindness Rising channel and right here on the Mornings in the Lab channel as part of the Business Athlete Performance Lab Network. Matt, thanks for jumping in, brother, on the fly here. I wanted to have some fun with you after your little missing live here this morning. Guys, he was there. He was talking away to the storms and wondering where everybody was here. So, Matty, I appreciate you, man.
Hey, appreciate it. And I want to say I see some names in your chat that show up in mine. And that's what we're doing here. We're building a network. So thanks for coming over to Kindness Rising at 7:30 in the morning before you get over here and have some fun with Keith and Johnny. So be driven, Lady Drew, Global, all you guys that have joined me. I really appreciate your kindness.
Awesome. All right,
have a great day, everybody.
All right, Maddie. Thanks, brother. Jimmy, we'll walk him out of here, and we'll keep the show rock and roll with myself and John Anderson here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John. 8 o'clock Eastern time, getting after it every single day. We're talking packing. We're talking toiletries packing. Johnny, what's the one thing that you had that you missed too many times? Where you're like, fuck it, I need to put a system in place, or have you always just had your toiletries list? Like, do you have a bag packed all the time, ready to go for toiletries?
Yeah, I mean, I have a little kit. And
yes.
Of course, I have to kind of, when I get back from a trip, I have to kind of look at it. And well, I shouldn't say when I get back from a trip, I just put it in a spot under the sink in the bathroom. Yes. And when I'm taking another trip, I pull it out and I basically restock it accordingly. Yeah. Like, here's a perfect example. So I tell you, like, every time I get in the shower, it's 10 pumps of lotion. Yes. Three per leg, 4 for the upper body. Boom. Yes. So I know if I'm going on a 4-day trip, I need 40 pumps of lotion into my travel bottle.
So do you actually
how many times have I been on the road? Yeah, I'll actually count off the 40 pumps, because you know how many times here's a perfect example. I'll bring my travel lotion bottle and be out of fucking lotion.
Yes.
Like, God damn it. Okay, I'm getting ready to go do an interview or a press conference. I'm getting myself cleaned up and I don't have lotion. Lotion for me, getting out of the shower, that's part of my ritual. You got to take part of my ritual away, and then it's for me. These are the things that it frees my mind from having to deal with this shit.
I have to ask this one very important question. So, do you put extra pumps, or is it 40? So, do you go like 42?
I'll always. It depends on if the thing is like empty. If it's empty, I'll always put some extras in there, because keep in mind it's a squeeze bottle. It's not a pump bottle.
Yes.
That makes sense. So I don't have the same system, because the big pumper, it wouldn't fit in that bag.
Yes.
So, but usually when I get back, there's some in the bottom, because I've done what you've said enough times where there's always some still remaining.
Come join the conversation, guys. What do you put in your packing bag? What's in your ultimate men's packing list, or women? What do you put in your packing list? Come join the conversation. 431-300-3005. 431-300-3005. I'll take your call. I'll take your voicemail. I'll take your text, and let us know what's in your packing bag. So on the dental side of things, this is obvious, man. You got your toothbrush, your toothpaste, your floss, and your mouthwash. Am I missing anything, Johnny, from the mouth?
Like, for example, one of the things I used to falter with was a razor. So now I have a razor that stays in that bag, along with the extra little, what do you call them? The little heads that you switch out when they get dull.
Yeah.
So I just make sure that little bad boy is self-contained. There's nothing in there. I might need to restock something, but it's going to have everything I need.
Do you worry about what's at the location you're going to, or are you very self-contained where you're like, okay, everything is in my pack, I could be right here if I need to. I don't need to worry about if shampoo or conditioner at the spot I'm going to.
No, I never count on anything where I'm going.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm absolutely the same way.
It's always going to be there, but that's just okay. Then that just makes the journey a little easier.
Is there anything in your kit that somebody might look at and be curious, going, "Oh, I never thought you'd have that in your toiletry kit, Mr. John Anderson"?
Yeah, that's a good. I think everything that's in there, people would think that, that kind of resonates to me. There's, the toothbrush.
And I threw this out there because
there's always going to be a bottle of Viagra in there.
Yeah. So you got body care, soap or body wash, deodorant, cologne, cotton buds or pads.
I use soap very little. I use soap on my armpits, my nuts, and my ass. So I'm good with whatever soap is. There's always going to be, even if it's a little bar of soap with a sink. So I'll count on that.
Are you peculiar about your soap? Like, are you one of those, and there's chemicals in it, or do I need the natural soap? Like, are you I find soap quite fascinating.
I think when I'm scrubbing out my asshole, I think it needs chemicals.
I agree. I think humans need chemicals on our ass. I'm with you there. There's too many of these clean soaps that don't do fuck all. You take some of these soaps, Johnny, like some of these quote unquote clean ones, low chemicals. You put them into your sink to wash your dishes. You're like, what the fuck? This ain't doing shit.
Well, that's interesting. Check this out. I didn't know this. Yes. Actually, Terry brought me up to speed.
Yes.
She said what really does the job with dishes is the temperature of the water more than the soap.
Well, yeah, I use hot water. Isn't that just a dull moment?
Yeah. Well, it's like, but I always, I never really connected the fact that it was the temp. I always just kind of used just lukewarm water. That's not killing anything.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. So how do you
I thought, well, when I was young, I thought it was the soap that did the job.
Well,
shit, the soap that just allows the sponge to be, move around nice and smoothly,
The mornings in the lab community, we're learning about Anderson's cleaning methods right now. So when you're cleaning your ass, hot water or cold water?
Well, I'm always going to be in the shower with hot water, dude.
Well, there you go. So hot water's killing the bugs. Global's coming in with comb or hairbrush.
Hold on. I'm going to put the fucking temperature of the water far hotter in the sink when I'm cleaning a dish, which is rare.
Yes.
Than when I couldn't put that temperature of water in my ass. It was shit, man. It wouldn't work. I couldn't stay under the water.
I'm with you there. I'm absolutely with you. So a comb or a hairbrush? Well, Global, we know that Johnny doesn't need one of those. I have my favorite brush because I got such wonderful locks. And if you guys are watching our videos that we're playing in between the segments here, you're seeing my flowing locks constantly. So I have a magical brush that Johnny I've had forever, and it traveled with me. I'll tell you, man. I'm gonna tell you something. I actually lost my brushes during my journeys. And I had a few sad days because I was like, oh my God, I've lost my good brush.
Check this out. There was a time when I was connected to a brush. Obviously, is when I had hair, right? Yes. And then I realized that, I basically started wearing my hair short enough. I didn't use one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That was great. It was the back in the day where you put a little bit of gel in your hand.
Yes.
And I could just boom, boom, boom with both hands, I was good. I was like, that's the efficiency that I need to develop my life around right there.
Global, I'm getting you there, man, because favorite brush is the real thing for hair people. Global, you're bang on, brother. I'm right there with you, man. There is that favorite brush here. So, guys, just having some fun chatter here today about essential toiletry packing items for men to get up and get after it. I think the best recommendation I would have for you guys as you go through your summer holidays, winter holidays, or if you're going to get up and get after it, is have your bag packed all the time. That's my big hack, Johnny. My hack is I have one ready to go. So if you're like, hey, Billis, come see me right now, I could fucking go to my bathroom, pick up my bag, get into my car, and I'm gone and I'm good to go. Like, I'm ready to go right now.
You literally have it already packed.
Yes, it's ready to go all the time. I have like a travel.
Well, what the difference is 2 days or it's 10 days? It works either way.
No, so I have like the foundational things. Like I got my, so I'll grab my, so there's foundational things that I will add to it. So for example, like I don't measure my pumps. I just put certain things in there that are always sitting there. There's some gel in there that's probably been there for years.
Okay. So we're kind of talking the same language. Yeah, I just don't leave that stuff in the bag.
That's right.
Although what I do leave in the bag is the fan that I travel with. Because if I don't have a fan blowing on my face, dude, that is like a sleepless night.
Yeah. There. Oh, yeah. Global, are you ready for a black tie event in seconds? No. Global, I've never been to a black tie event. Johnny, have you? I've never been. True story.
That's a fucking good question.
Never been. Nation, have you?
What would be the definition of a black tie event?
Like I'm thinking like a tuxedo, probably like a tuxedo and a tuck, and like you're all dolled up. Terry's all dolled up. Like everybody is in like black tie, like tuxedo, like high end, right? So, and yeah, I have never been in my journey in life. I've never been invited. Yay! I don't think I want to go actually.
Well, I that being said, I can probably guarantee that I said no to a bunch of those.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. All right, so hey, I want to pivot here as we're looking at the 15-minute mark of hour 2 on the show here. So Johnny, one of the things we always talk about on this show is life expectancy work. We know that if we're having sex often, we're going to live longer, not only with ourselves, with our partners. But I have done some research, and humans just frankly don't have enough sex. For the most part, right? Average human beings have sex once to 3 times, basically once a week, 3 times a month kind of thing, right? But Johnny, here's something there's this problem. Folks aren't having enough sex, which means that maybe folks aren't living long enough. So I did find maybe a solution to help people live longer. Surveys show that women typically masturbate about once per week, all right? While men,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I can't believe how little this is happening.
Listen to this. Good morning, Fontana. Good to have you in here, brother. Joe, you might want to be part of this conversation. We're talking right now about how we can make humans live longer. And Uncle Keith has the solution. So pay attention. So surveys show that women typically masturbate about once per week, Johnny. while men do it around 3 times per week. So you can see where I'm going with this. So men 3 times, women once.
Dude, I'm going to empty the clip every day. I mean, whether it's sometimes twice, sometimes I'll empty the clip and then Terry will be like, because usually in the late morning, Terry and I will decide what we want to do with our time in the early evening.
Yes.
And so in many cases, I'll have emptied the clip, right before my nap to go to sleep. And she'll say, hey, let's do our thing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, now we got another one. Yeah. But I mean, I'm not understanding the concept. But here's what I think it is, though. I think it's the way that people live their lives. Their bodies are not operating in a way where that urge is actually strong enough for them to need to satisfy it.
Well, I'm gonna continue with you, brother, and Global comes in with Global. You're right. Empty clip is very romantic. Yes. Hey, honey, I've emptied the clip. But listen, because I want Johnny, brother, I feel like this information could be revolutionary for so many folks right now. So at the same time, nearly half of American couples report having sex less than once a week. So men are jerking off on average around 3 times a week. A woman is on average masturbating once per week. North Americans, report having sex less than once a week. So you can see, Johnny, there's a gap going on here, a big gap, right? So the gap between solo sexual activity and partnered sex suggests that many couples, John Anderson, might be missing out on an opportunity for intimacy and pleasure by simply doing mutual or couple masturbation. So guys, if you're going 3 times a week and your partner is going once a week, if you guys each do it together, Johnny, we're meeting in the middle, the numbers are going up.
Well, and I think part of it too, and I agree with what you're saying, brother, but I think part of that is that the way that people's schedules are, they're just, that's usually going to be an argument.
But hey, but I got
here and I'm there. But hold on. But what I'm saying is that they're allowing that to happen.
Exactly.
They're not creating the time that's needed to take care of this.
Dude, I have the answer for you. Masturbating together eliminates much of the logistical and emotional work that can make sex feel daunting for busy couples.
And they're going to say, "Oh, we don't have time." Well, you know what? Create the time. Get up a little earlier. What I'm saying is that's their excuse.
I agree. But listen,
but it's a simple thing. If it's you don't have a time issue, you have a priority issue.
100%, dude. There's no need for elaborate preparation. There's no need for position changes, whether you're going to missionary or hamstring or a sunroof or cowgirl or whatever, or face sitting, or there's no extensive foreplay, dude. It's just you and your partner, each focusing on your own pleasure, side by side, boom, 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 intimate, check the box, feel closer. Maybe not check the box, being intimate, spend some time together, guaranteed pleasure. And dude, if you can reliably bring yourself to orgasm through masturbation, mutual masturbation almost guarantees satisfaction for both. So you're all going to live longer. So guys, you're going 3 times. Women, you're going once. Meet in the middle. Problem solved. Uncle Keith. So there you go, guys. I've given you guys the answer for the whole day, Johnny. Just like that. It's just like that.
Well, then there's the argument of, he travels. Well, no, but what I'm giving you solutions too, bro. You got to fucking settle down with waving that hand around and let me finish what I'm saying. When I've been on the road a fucking ton, right?
Yes.
And when, Terry and I would get on the phone and just the sounds, but then when FaceTime was released, oh man, that had a whole different element to it. Now you're getting to watch your partner.
That's exactly right. So what I'm suggesting is there's actually no excuse for this gap. There's zero excuse for the gap. So, if we all want to live longer, we all got to lean into having more sex. And to do that, we can either do it mutual masturbation, or we can get after it, or we can do it all. But there you go. That's your tip today on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John here at 8:00 Eastern time. And yeah, Global, try it. You'll like it. True story. Speaking of trying it, you'll like it.
And if you don't have the energy, if that's one of your excuses, then you need to start looking at how you're living your life.
If you don't have the energy, man, stop the crappy food. you're going to hear us repeat this. Stop the crap food. Stop going eating the shitty food. Tune into our show. Make good decisions. And just do it every single day. Just loop it out, loop it out, loop it out. Speaking of food, Jimmy, I think we have a segment about protein that I was going to get to in the first hour. Jimmy, do we have? I think we have that maybe teed up there, Jimmy. Let's get to that. I'm kind of throwing at Jimmy here quickly here, but we have a new study revealed.
Fueling right isn't optional. It's the foundation for unstoppable energy.
What? What are you looking at? I'm not fat, just husky. That's what my mom told me.
You hit the gym hard. You do the work. But what if your recovery strategy is based on a complete myth? We've all been stuck in the 25-gram protein box, carefully spacing out meals, worried that 1 gram too many will go to waste. It's a ceiling we've placed on our own progress. Now, new science from a landmark university study proves there is no ceiling. A massive protein dose after a workout triggers a sustained, powerful, muscle-building state. This is your permission to eat a real, satisfying meal after you train, knowing every gram is being put to work building stronger muscle tissue. Break through the plateau. It's time to eat like you train.
Light it up, Johnny. Light it up, Johnny. I saw you smiling there, and I wanted to have this one before I let you go. Recent groundbreaking study from Maastricht University, and Lane Norton's been talking about it too, published in Cell Reports, reveals that anabolic response to high-protein post-workout meals has no upper limit in magnitude or duration. As the guy who has experimented and done this his whole life, let's get into it, brother.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, is that we know now for sure. It used to be, okay, if you eat too much protein, the body can't utilize it for fuel. That's bullshit.
Yes.
Anything you put in your, if your body can utilize a Big Mac for fuel, it can utilize protein for fuel. So
that's fucking brilliant. Hold on. I never heard that you said that's actually brilliant, right? Because we're also, I can go crush 4 Big Macs. Oh yeah. But you're not supposed to eat 4 steaks. What?
Well, it's because it's easy to go eat the Big Macs.
Yes.
Justifying easy. But we know now, I mean, I've known this forever because I've been on a high protein, carbohydrate, very, very minimal. I call them unintentionally digested carbohydrates. They just kind of get in there. You can't get them out.
Yes.
And I never had energy issues, but obviously I've lived my life in a certain way. But I guess what it comes down to, it used to be, you're wasting the protein. No, it just gets used for fuel. Now, the good part about that is it's not easy for the body to use for fuel. So it actually will help your body has to work a little harder metabolically. So it's actually going to help you, the stimulation of body fat.
Yes.
Burning body fat. Excuse me.
I wanted to bring this conversation to the table because I pride myself in trying to find reputable information we can share with our audience. We live in a world now where we wonder what's truth, wonder what's not truth. And, listen, I got AI in the show. Me wondering if that's a real guy, not a real guy. So my goal and our ambition is we keep creating conversation and content for our audience is to create content of trust. I, like yourself, have grown up with this, you can only have 25 grams of protein, Keith, or you're wasting it all. So I was really pleased as over the last number of months and some of the science is beginning to has emerged that this long-standing belief that muscle protein synthesis plateaus after 25 grams is full of shit.
Well, brother, but let's just take this argument away from protein.
Yeah.
Anything that is difficult is going to have an argument that it doesn't work.
Yes. Yep. Well said.
I mean,
the answer you want, right?
Yeah, it was plug anything you want in there. And there's going to be some theory that says that it doesn't work until it's actually proven through science. So these people have to shut up. And then once it is, then you've got the world as flat people. They've just taken so long to be informed that the world is actually a globe that they're still holding on to the fact that you have to starve yourself to fucking lose weight. No. You have to, you can eat and not be hungry and stimulate your body to burn body fat and feel fucking great and be healthy at the same time. That's the world is round.
Hold on, Johnny. Did you say the world was global? I thought it was flat. Johnny, I've lived my whole life thinking the world was flat. Are you fucking kidding me? You mean
well, you're also one of these poor bastards that probably thinks you got to starve yourself to lose fucking weight.
So, dude, you're taking topics off my counter. I had a topic for later this week on things that you're thinking you're making you help you lose weight. But I'll tell you,
have you not figured out? I know what you're thinking.
I know you do. You know what's funny? Hey, you did tease something a few minutes ago. I want to bring it onto the shelf here this week. You talked about science. Well, science has been talking a lot lately, especially the humans of the world and other doctors around the world around peptides. Now, we're not going to spend any time talking about it today. I'm putting it on the counter for tomorrow or later this week, but there's more and more science around peptides, guys. I want to bring that conversation more into the show here because we can learn about it. I'm curious about it as we're aging humans. Johnny is an expert in it, or an emerging expert in it, or a little bit of both. So I want to talk more about peptides coming up because science is certainly pushing that forward, John Anderson, more than ever, frankly.
Yeah, and you hear Huberman, right? He's well renowned.
Yes.
And he's even saying, look, there's this wedge between medicine, it's basically because peptides are already naturally occurring in the body.
Yes.
So it's basically just giving the body commands to do something better or not at all. And so it's really kind of it's to a certain extent kind of undermining medicine, because medicine is here's a problem, let's cover it up. How about you take a peptide and just say, let's not make that problem?
Well, what I like about peptides, it starts with a P, which to me means proactive, right? So if I can take peptides, I can think about proactively taking care of my health. But I want to talk more about that in the coming days and weeks here on the show. I do want to get to the comments here. I got some funny things happening here. I do see some funny comments happening here, which is global. Yeah, so global. So global. You were the one who called out the conversation a few days ago on the height here on the show about the little man, because I am a little man, and I think Jimmy's a little man too. And I don't mind. And John is a big man. So yes, short people jokes are a constant on this show because I'm a short person. And listen, I know when folks get their knickers in a knot about bullying or stuff like that. I think the world has gotten too woke with some of that craziness. So if you don't like some of the things we like to joke about here on the show, then I would invite you to go maybe elsewhere. And that's not to be offensive to somebody. That's just to be saying, hey, man, the world's just gotten too rigid with some stupid with just certain things, and I just want to continue to try to push the limits and have some fun. And global, I met tall people that are unaware of their advantage. Yes, I have as well. Danielle, good to see you here in the comments. I love having you in as well. Guys, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and global, wonder what type of characters in Hollywood that are short, which influence our perception. Well, I can tell you, Sylvester Stallone's pretty little. There's a lot of dudes that are littler than we think, but the magic of Hollywood makes us appear bigger than anything. And I can guarantee you, I thought John was 6'5", 6 foot. He's like, no, I'm fucking 6 feet. And I'm not knocking it, but it's just our perception of human.
6 feet. If I'm really fucking I was once 6 feet, not anymore. Fuck, I'm probably under 5'11" now.
I was once 6 feet. Yeah, I was once 5'7", but I'm no longer 5'7" either. I have been shrinking along the way. Lady Drew, I see your comments there. Thanks for joining us on the show this morning. Morning's Live with Keith and friends. We've had a big one. We've had a lot of conversations. We've got about failing after 40. We've talked about the ultimate toiletries packing list. Jimmy, are we missing anything, Jimmy? Or before we get to the community corner with Johnny, we're going to walk Johnny out here in a quick second. We're going to get to the community corner here in a few moments as well. Tomorrow, we got some guests back up on the show here tomorrow, Johnny. I'm just looking here in the comments. Johnny, what do you got going on today, bud?
So I'm looking forward to the workout, because when I didn't work out yesterday, that's part of it. I so look forward to my training when I don't train the day before, because I'm recovered. I feel good.
Yes.
So I've got my training, which I'm looking forward to, and I'm going to do some content right after that. I got my team meeting.
Nice.
We actually have an electrician coming to the house today, which is a little out of the norm.
Yeah. What are you fixing? Or he or she, what are you fixing?
We had a fan that kind of took a dump when we had all our people here. So we're just we just like to keep everything in tip top. If something goes wrong, we fix it. You know?
Yeah. There
Yeah.
you go.
And then what I got then in the afternoon, Terry and I are going to go, we're going to spend some time in the afternoon because I actually have a Zoom meeting tonight. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nicely done. B-Drive, I would never bully. I grew up with Sam Kinison and Eddie Murphy. Me too. All in the family. We had tough skin and a sense of camaraderie. Listen, I grew up with Sam Kinison and Eddie Murphy as well. And yeah, some of that content might not age well in 2025. I think some of the stuff that Eddie talked about in Raw, we'd kind of cringe at a little bit today. However, I still think that there's content that we would laugh at today that we could bring back to the table that people want to laugh at, but we just don't know how to laugh at it anymore because society has told us we can't laugh at it, right? And I'm thinking about maybe some of the Gen X stuff, some of the boomers, and maybe some of the stuff that we like to have humor with, but we just can't find it anymore because nobody wants to have it, nobody wants to do it, right? So like I'll be honest, I created a little skit, Johnny, that I'm going to throw over this week with my AI characters. Just a little man, right? A little man, like the Benny Hill character. Remember Benny Hill?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Like just some of that old school humor that I grew up with that I think has gotten lost along the way that I think, I think some people, would like to see. And it's not about offending folks. I've never met, and I think that's the problem, people that oh, you're going to offend that person. Have you asked them? Oh, no, I'm going to offend them. Have you asked them? No, I haven't. Well, maybe they would actually be in on the joke. You know what I mean, Johnny? Like sometimes we get so focused on worrying about that I'm going to offend you, but I've asked the guy if you're going to offend them. No, because I'm too scared to ask him.
Well, it's because people in general, they get too offended too easily. So people just kind of veer away from it, and it's like all these different issues now have taken such a stance. If you make a joke about this or you make a joke about that, it's like it's become off limits.
Like Benny Hill, I fucking loved him, man. I also love too is remember Gary Shandling? Gary Shandling? Like that humor is lost, Johnny. It's gone. I love that kind of humor, man.
Can you imagine if Eddie Murphy Raw was released today?
No.
Oh, it would have killed his career.
100%. You couldn't say 90% of the things he said today.
No. 100%. Yeah. So it's unfortunately, it's just become kind of I don't know. People are too easily offended. But I think that's because people want something to bitch about.
Yes. But I will tell you though, that I think though, and I'm going to be honest with our community here. I'm going to continue to push the limits with our characters with what they say and can't say, because they're not real. And I want to continue to invite comedy and humor into this, and without offending anybody. So, George Carlin, great stuff. Richard Pryor, all that shit, man. That's funny stuff, man. That's all very, very funny stuff. All right, Jimmy.
Same thing. You couldn't put Richard Pryor out today.
Oh fuck no. No, you couldn't. But where's the next Richard Pryor?
Yeah.
Is it Chris Rock? Yeah. Is it the other fellow I'm thinking about on top of my head, it's skipping my mind, but yeah, I enjoy some of that stuff, and my goal is to bring some of that stuff back here, like even some of the stuff that Conan does, or Letterman, or all that old shit that is lost, right? That's done very well in skits. So, all right, Jimmy, let's walk the big man out of here, and then Jim, we'll do the Eisenhower Matrix. I want to have that conversation here. I'll throw that onto the table with our community. I'll do it solo, and then we'll do the community corner. So Johnny, before we go, I got to do a quick little 2-minute lesson with my boss here. So just excuse me while I talk to my boss here about something. So boss, I want to create an AI character with you, as I've done with Keith. But to do that though, I need to create you. So as I was saying to you yesterday, I was going to tell you to do over the air here. I need you to take a picture of yourself, but just like,
I think I know what you mean. You need one here. You need one here. You need one here. So it's like when you're doing a face verification, you got to do this.
Yes. So I need a lot of them.
Then,
right? Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly,
you need to start here. Then it goes here. Then here. Then here. Then here. Then all in the middle.
It's exactly right. It's exactly it. So give me a lot of those pictures, put them into the folder so I can create John A, or whatever we're going to call you. But I'm going to make that, and then we're going to have some fun. And then what we're also going to do is, because you and I have spoken for a couple of minutes on our show over the last year, just a couple of minutes, Johnny, I do have some voice recognition of our voices. So I'm going to be able to strip out your audio like I've been doing of mine, using some tools so I can bring our voices to life with our characters, brother.
Let's go, baby. I got it on my list of to-dos today.
Just pay attention to your assistant. He'll take care of you.
That's it. That's it.
Okay, get out of here, Jimmy. Get down.
Did you give my man yesterday?
No, I've been too busy. I was too busy getting Case on the stage. So listen, Bob, I will get to him today.
God damn it! I have to fucking I have to stay on you.
I knew that was coming. All right, pal. You have yourself an awesome day. I'm sure we'll be chatting later. You go and get after it, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay.
Have a good loop, brother.
All right, pal. All right, Jimmy. Let's get that bro out of here. Let's get the big man out of here. And I like to reset with music because it helps me reset. So, Jimmy, let's do the Eisenhower Matrix. This one has been on the table before you throw it there, Jimmy. This one has been on the table a lot of times. Jimmy, is that good English? A lot of times? Yeah, many times. Jimmy's feeling a little sheepish right now because I was giving him grief during the first hour because he was so prepared. It's just Jimmy was so prepared, but he knows that I tease through love. It's so true, Jimmy. So we've had this Eisenhower Matrix. Hey, Jimmy, is Danielle just stuck with hearts? Danielle, I love your hearts. Yeah, just keep throwing me the hearts, man. Every time you throw hearts, I feel warm in my heart. So I have had this Eisenhower Matrix conversation on the table for a number of weeks. Oh, Robin Williams. Yes. Lady Drew. Big fan of Robin Williams, man. When he died and CeeLo Green launched that song, I cried. I was a huge fan of Robin Williams. Man, the struggles and battles that he went through and then that tragic demise, man, that one hit me. Phil Hartman, a lot of great comedians. So hopefully we can bring back some of that humor onto the show here, you guys, and keep the show light and fun and so forth. So, okay, so Eisenhower Matrix. I have been wanting to talk about this one for a while because I like to teach. I like to leave you guys with things to talk about, think about. But it's this idea of mastering urgency versus importance. And my colleague Melissa, and even Jimmy hear about this often, it's this idea of artificial urgency. Oh, I got to do it. Oh, I got to do it. It's urgent. Really? Is it really urgent? Or is it just artificially urgent? Excuse me. Like if you ever feel like you're busy all day, yet nothing important moves, today, I want to rip open, man, I just got a bunch of air in my lungs. Today, I want to rip open Dwight Eisenhower's simple 4-box matrix that shows CEOs, soldiers, and stay-at-home dads exactly what to do, defer, delegate, or delete. Let's grab a pen or grab something digital. This one's going to rescue the to-do list and your sanity. Jimmy, let's run the opener, brother.
Clarity thrives when urgency stops stealing from importance.
Priorities clear. Now action follows intention.
I can say anything I want. What is Keith gonna do? Fire me.
What if the secret to getting more done wasn't moving faster, but learning what to ignore? We're conditioned to react to what's loudest, the notifications, the urgent requests, the constant stream of digital noise. But breakthrough thinking from one of history's greatest leaders shows that what's urgent is rarely important. You'll get a simple tool to instantly see what to do, what to delay, and what to delete from your life. Imagine cutting through the clutter effortlessly, saying no without guilt, and investing your energy only in tasks that truly move the needle. Because real productivity isn't about doing more, it's about doing less, better. Reclaim your day. The power is in the choice.
All right. Guys, we're going to have a conversation around the Eisenhower Matrix, removing artificial urgency from your life. Yes. How do we do that? Well, we might have some things to teach. Global, import more Canadian comedians. I'm with you there. Maybe Jim Carrey? Who are the good Canadian comedians that we can lean into, Global? I'm starting to be curious about that. I know Jim Carrey's obviously, the Trailer Park Boys. We got a ton of Canadian comedians that have had an impact on America, on Hollywood. Yeah, we'll start with one of them. One of them being Jim Carrey, one of the classic, Canadian comedians. Okay, so the Eisenhower Matrix, how does it work? Well, I'm going to invite you to go through your day today. And as you look at your day or your week or your month or your life, draw 4 quadrants. Yeah, just draw those 4 quadrants. And you're going to draw 4 quadrants. You're going to make urgent, important, not urgent, important, urgent, not important, and not urgent, not important. And then you're going to sit back and you're going to explain why. And then we're going to talk about why high performers live in quadrant 2, the important, not urgent quadrant. Yes. We're going to talk about it here today. All right. So I need to pivot myself over to this camera over here so I can pull this conversation up in front of me here and give you guys something to lean into with how we are going to learn about today's Eisenhower Matrix. All right. So, and then we did have a conversation lined up here today about community burnout, but since we have talked much about that in the first hour, I think there's not much more to add to that conversation here today on the focus. So we're going to lean into mastering urgence versus importance. So if you're sitting back here today and you're going, you ever feel like you're busy all day and nothing moves? You want to think about these four matrix, right? And where is my notes here? I am lost on my notes, and I don't think this segment is working as well as I thought it was going to do here. Where are my notes? Yeah. All right, so I think we're going to stumble away from this one here, because this one isn't going to work like I thought it was going to work. So we're going to do the progress over perfection segment on this one here on the Eisenhower. Oh, here's the learning. I guess it wasn't urgent. So we're going to move it off the table and not going to have the conversation around the Eisenhower Matrix. We are going to bring it back, though, because there's a key learning in this whole situation around the Eisenhower Matrix. And the learning is this, and I'll summarize it this way. We go through life, everything is urgent. Urgent, which is often preventing us from making the right decisions on the right things. So what we might want to consider is these 4 quadrants, right? What's important, but what's not urgent? What's important, but what is urgent? What's important, but kind of urgent, and what's not important at all? And I'd invite you to look at your list of items on your task list and put them into the box that is actually what you really think is urgent, and then step back and ask yourself if it can be done today or done tomorrow. And then you're going to start finding yourself saying no to more things instead of yes to all these things that you think you need to do. So there's my quick summary on the Eisenhower Matrix. Jimmy, I butchered that one here this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends on a Tuesday, July 15th, dating the show this morning in the lab. Hey, at least I didn't forget to hit the live button, Jimmy. At least I didn't forget to hit. Who would do that? Yeah, I wonder who would forget to hit the live button here on the show. Bernard, I love you, man. Time is not real. Now is all that exists, and it has no length of time. Yeah, so hey, time. So Bernard, if I was out here doing a morning show and trying to sell people and doing live conversations, I'd say yes, time is real, because time is real first thing in the morning. Why? Because when we all connect, think about what happens in the morning, right? We all get up, we connect together. But as the day goes on, time becomes largely irrelevant. Because your time, Bernard, as the noon and as the day goes on, becomes very different than my time. So I really strongly believe in the power of live morning conversations. Global, all my comments are rhetorical, exploratory, and contrary, just words. I love you, Global. I love your content, and I love your comment. Most importantly, I love your engagement. Right? I've said this many times, man. This show doesn't exist with people like yourself, Global, B Drive, Lady Drew, Danielle, everybody's showing up here every single day to contribute to the community. That's why this works. Whether it's rhetorical, whether it's responsive, whether it is purely just getting after it, I very much enjoy everything you guys are putting out there for us on the table. Okay, So, Jim, I'm moving us over to the community corner segment. So why don't we get that rolling here, and then we'll get the community corner happen, Jimmy.
Clarity deepens when connection is authentic. Support transforms isolation into inspiration.
Clarity, 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 come on, really? All I need is these glasses and some green, and life becomes clear for me.
All right. Lady Drew, I cried when Robin Williams died. I sure did. Big time. It's time for the community corner, where we connect LinkedIn and Substack on Mornings Live with Keith and friends. We're going to look at flipping the script on pain, escaping chaos to find sanity, and there's even a story about letting a robot. What? A robot run your morning routine. If you think you heard it all before, trust me, you have not. So let's get into the first one. 10-minute shifts that'll wreck your excuses. What if the only thing standing between you and a better life is a story you keep telling yourself? Wow, Tanner Moore lays out 10 mindset shifts that hit hard. From focusing on what's missing to building on what's working. And from isolation to building a community. Stop waiting for life to fix itself. Decide who you want to be and back it up with the action. This guy ditched "I'm too old" for "I'm still in the game." Yeah, true story. What about you, fellas? Which story are you finally done believing here today? Think about it. All right, Substack, when your accountability partner is a robot. You heard me talk about this one, the robots. You ever think about letting a machine keep you honest? We kind of leaned into it yesterday as the world of AI comes around us. Melvin H. Walker from Lemon Tree Mindset did it, and it worked. He built himself an AI coach that's all business, zero excuses. Suddenly, he's walking more, working smarter, and even spending more time with his family. Wow, I gotta tell you, sometimes the best partner isn't the one who doesn't care about how you feel, just whether you showed up. Let me ask you this, guys. Would you trust an AI coach? Love to hear from you in the comments. All right. Keeping it rolling over on LinkedIn. Dad's Stillness, the Secret Reset. Tyler Graham, 6 kids, still finds time to hit the pause. What's his move? Escape to a cabin, sit with his thoughts, and come back ready for whatever chaos the house throws his way. It isn't about checking out. It's about checking back. Everyone needs a reset button. And for Tyler, it's stillness and silence. Where do you go to clear your head and get right again? Is it the lake? Is it the cabin? Is it the mall? Is it a concert? I want to hear from you in the comments. True story. And listen, going back to LinkedIn, turning pain into fuel. How much pain are you willing to put up with before you finally say, enough is enough? Well, Chaz Horn found himself staring down a flight of stairs, knees throbbing, completely drained by constant pain. He tried everything, doctors, surgeries, injections, nothing worked. Did he try peptides, Jimmy? Yeah, it wasn't until he stopped looking for the next quick fix and got serious about rebuilding his body that things turned around. For Chaz, it started with squats, it started with grit and a new mindset. Well, sometimes pain isn't a sign to stop, it's a push to finally take control. So, yeah, ask yourself, pick one pain you've been avoiding and make today the day you're going to do something about it. That is what you might want to consider doing as part of today's Community Corner. And that's it, fellas. If you want your own story featured on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends, I invite you to follow us on LinkedIn and Substack and tag us in your next post. I love you too, Danielle. Yes. Thanks for joining the conversation. Hey, guys, listen. You can join the conversation, 431-300-3005, live, 431-300-3005. Phone the show, leave a voicemail, or send me a text. 431-300-3005. It is 1995. Trying to bring it back here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends every single day. All right, Jimmy, let's go to the Creator Spotlight. Let's get to number 1.
What if the secret to building both a stronger body and a sharper mind isn't choosing between the gym and the library, but combining them? Most men feel torn between physical fitness and intellectual growth, believing they have to sacrifice one for the other. They hit the gym, but neglect their minds, or they read constantly, but let their bodies deteriorate. John Finkel discovered that the discipline required for consistent reading mirrors the commitment needed for physical transformation. His Books and Biceps newsletter proves this connection works, with over 20,000 men achieving a 95% success rate in both areas. Start by pairing one book chapter with each workout session. Stop choosing between strong and smart. Build both your muscle and your mindset starting today.
John Finkel isn't your typical writer or gym guy. No, baby. No, he's a dad who reads with his kids. A guy who benches 315 but never acts like he's above anyone. And the first to crack a joke about meatheads while recommending his favorite book. Yeah. John knows most men get boxed in. Either you lift or you read. That's it. He smashed that wall. Though through books and biceps, he made it normal for guys to care about their bodies and their brains, and he's built a community where both matter. For John, the real flex isn't much how you can lift. It's showing up for your family, your friends, and for yourself. He's proof that you don't have to pick one lane. You can have it all in abundance. And John, we'd love to have you on the show, brother. We're celebrating you today, so we can have you on the show so you can celebrate someone else as part of our community corner, the Creator Spotlight. So here's how it works. I want to give you the light, my friend. I want to give you the light so you can shine it and pay it forward on the next community corner on the Creator Spotlight right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Let's go to the next one, Jimmy.
Ever felt trapped between who you were and who you're becoming? Like you're protecting yourself from the very connections you crave? Most men carry wounds they can't name, building walls that keep out pain but also prevent authentic intimacy. We push through instead of getting curious about our own stories. Licensed therapist Blake Roberts discovered through his own addiction recovery and helping hundreds of men that real strength isn't about emotional armor. It's about choosing curiosity over criticism when examining our protective patterns. The breakthrough happens when you stop asking, "Why am I broken?" and start asking, "What is my story trying to teach me?" Your wounds can become wisdom. Choose curiosity today.
You know, it takes real guts admitting you need help. Yep, Blake Roberts almost didn't make it to the therapist chair. No, not as a professional, but as a client. He spent years avoiding his own counseling, believing that asking for help was weakness, that he could do it alone. Today, he helps men navigate the same journey, from hiding in shame to finding real connection. He's a former football player turned therapist, a photographer, a drummer, and most importantly, a girl dad who's doing the same work every single day. Now, Blake isn't just talking about men's mental health. No, he's living proof that the journey inward leads to real transformation. So, Blake, here's how it works. We're celebrating you today, and we'd love to have you on the next Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends so you can celebrate somebody in your world, in your orbit, and keep this situation moving forward as part of the next Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends to celebrate people in the wonderful communities on Substack, LinkedIn, and all over the planet. So, brother, we'd love to have you in to celebrate somebody next on the next Community Corner. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. All right. All right. Let's see here. Go back to the comments here. Looking here on the horizontal comments, I'm seeing Global getting after it. Let's see here. Oh my God! So my biggest fear is misspelling. Humor loses its punch. Yes, humor requires speaker to stimulate the audience, visual imagination. We are the actor, and the audience is our life, guys. You guys got some great conversations happening here. Over in the Mornings in the Lab. You guys can join the conversation as well. To do that, I invite you to join the Mornings in the Lab community. You can subscribe to the channel, like the channel. It's a free community. We get after it every single day here at 8 o'clock here on YouTube, over on LinkedIn and X as well. There's also a paid component as well. It's $5, $15, and $20 a month, whatever it is. Not here to line the pockets. It is here simply to reinvest and keep moving the show forward. So I invite you guys to do that. I invite you to join the conversation. And the conversation doesn't stop. When the show is over, we keep it going here, guys. And you can do that by sending me a text, sending me a voicemail, or simply give me a call, 431-300-3005 on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. All right, we're going to wrap it up here today. We stumbled through today's show. It's about progress, not perfection. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. We have some guests tomorrow on the show. I'm going to quickly pull up my phoner to see who we got coming up on the show here tomorrow. We do have some guests. I invite you guys, remember, check out Matt Roof at 7:30 Eastern time tomorrow. He's going to get after it daily right here on the platform. And tomorrow, he's talking about kindness, uncommon kindness. He did say what he was talking about tomorrow, but I somewhat forgot. But I know he's talking kindness, and that's the main theme of what we're going to get after at 7:30 Eastern time. All right, tomorrow we got Adam is joining us tomorrow, and Nora is joining us tomorrow. So we got a couple of guests joining us tomorrow, and not you, Holroyd. No, I know you. We haven't got you on here yet, but we'd love to get you on the show. Okay, so Jimmy, let's get out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. 8 o'clock, right here. YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. See you guys tomorrow.